Hello, this is Tea Time on Plus TV Africa, and we bring you the biggest entertainment stories. My name is Elsie Godwin, and as usual, I'm here with Ifeoluwa Oshunkeye and Ifeoluwa Omai.
What up?
How you doing?
Well, how's your weekend?
Good. How was yours, Ife? Because I was following your weekend on Instagram.
Oh, really?
How was your weekend?
Sleep.
How was your weekend? You just not sleep, don't lie.
I was sleeping.
I'm sure there are people following you on Instagram, so this like cannot work.
No, I was sleeping all weekend.
Wow. The cards.
You were sleepwalking. No, you were sleep partying.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Was I? I didn't even know that. Like,
Well, give us just.
no, it was just the Big Brother eviction party. And,
okay.
yeah, usually they wait for an housemate or two to be evicted, and then the third party the following weekend. But this time they waited for 5, so it was bigger. So
It was
there
more
was
fun.
5 evicted housemates, and they threw an eviction party for them. So
Okay.
yeah, it
Was
was
it fun?
fun. And yeah, it was
it
fun.
looks fun
And
from what I saw in his-
Toyo actually took over the stage, you know, with some erotic dance. That's
Erotic.
Yeah,
I like that.
gotten people talking. You know, even I posted it on my story.
Ah,
and
we
people
saw
have been
it.
asking me like, "Where is this? Who is that? Yeah, that is so irresponsible." This is so-" And I'm like, "Okay, my dad and mom didn't say nothing. Who are you?"
Anyway, well, we're expecting a biopic from Wendy Williams, which is said to be about the highs and lows of her rise to fame, sex, cocaine, date rape, and fat shaming. Lifetime sources say the biopic spans her life from ages 10 to 55. Also on the table is her experiences with racism and sexism in Hollywood, details from her marriage to Kevin Hunter, and as well as her divorce and her relationship with Monique. The biography movie will be produced by Wendy and Will Parker. Okay, I think I am looking forward to this one. I hope they do justice to it, because I mean, gossip sells. And if you know Wendy, I think it was on Friday that I was mentioning to you that she said Monique could have made money from this story she's just sharing and not doing anything about it, right? So I guess she's out to show them how it's done. So I look forward to this one.
This is someone that has a lot of years in the business. So I might not like her personality or how she does things, but she's not empty-headed. Her head is full of a lot of knowledge, facts, information, things that were on screen, off screen. And she's also a really good businesswoman. And it's interesting topics that she's diving into, talking about sexism, racism. It was interesting when she said date rape as well. It'd be nice to shed more light on that.
And
this is not a book,
she said
it's a movie.
it's about a top charting musician in the industry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so the date rape thing is even about a very popular figure that we are probably all bumping to right now. But let's see if she's gonna disclose who that person is, or if we can guess from the movie who that person is.
And it's interesting she brought up Monique, because Monique was in the news recently with her beef with Oprah. And I was just thinking, reading up on her story a little, it just seems like someone that allowed attitude to get in the way of her business. Like, she fought with everyone she worked with, and nobody wanted to work with her anymore. Because once upon a time, her show, The Parkers, used to be like one of the top-selling TV sitcoms that were catered for black people. And all of a sudden, they just stopped. And everyone seems to have a beef with this woman. So I want to know what Wendy's take is on this woman. They've been friends for a long time. So I want to see what happened and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so we're all looking forward to this one. You want to say something else, or should we move on?
Basically, I'm just, you know, like, misrepresentation comes up when people are doing biopics and all that, but I'm glad that she's part of the writers of this. So it won't be like after like 2 years, somebody will come out and say, no, you didn't represent me well. So if you're misrepresented, it's your misrepresentation. So that's one thing I'm glad. So I feel we're going to see all facts and truth in this.
But don't you think that based on that, you might also see a lot of bias? Because
Obviously, we're not going to get
It's going to be from her own
But
angle.
knowing Wendy has been very open about her life, like the things she goes through, or even a drug use, drug
and I think she's
overdose.
quick to bash herself.
She does that. She's not the type to judge people. She judges herself before you even judge her. So she even put it out there to let you know that, look, this was my struggle and look at me now. I think she's that kind of person.
Yeah, and maybe other people on the team as well will also help and maybe like shed more light as well.
All right, moving on. Davido claims his gateman has 2 houses and 3 cars. So this is what happened. The fan tweeted at the singer saying, Davido working with lighter brings orgasm to my eyes. Davido has been helping young talent since 1846. Of course, that's an exaggeration. There's nobody around Davido that's not successful. I repeat, nobody. Even his gateman is richer than me, end of quote. And in response to that tweet, Davido said, my gateman leads, 2 cribs, 3 whips. And of course, bloggers are running along with that. I don't know why it's so difficult for me to believe, but then it's quite possible if you're around Davido.
And 2 cribs, 2 whips in Ondo.
It's still something.
Yeah. But
And what's the size of your crib?
Do you understand? Like, is it a bungalow?
Is it self-contained?
Why are you two doing this? Is this like an unfair gang?
No. We're just saying, like, people are making it sound like people are even beginning to send their CV saying that I have a BSc in gatesmanship. Have you seen any of that? Like, people are telling you that can I be the gatesman to your gatesman? Do you understand?
The thing that people don't understand, even with taking it away from Davido's gatesman, sorry to cut you. Some of these northerners, let me call them that you see as gatesmen, the amount of properties and farms they have back home they're not just gatesmen. Most times, if you notice, if you've had any of them around your house, you know that some certain period.
I know how much my gatesman is.
Do you understand? Some certain period of the year, they leave the gates to travel. No matter what they are doing for you, they put somebody else and go there to tend to their farms, to tend to their livestock, to tend to their wives. I mean, you see the small ones, I know they are married. So I don't think they are as poor as people look at them.
But now you're assuming that this person is Hausa.
No, I'm not assuming. I'm just saying the way people look at gatesmen generally, thinking that, oh, these people are really poor. Like he said, at least I know how much the gatesman in my own house.
Said he's making
of course, it's not up to, but compared to the fact that they have accommodation,
but I know he's making
they basically don't even spend anything aside feeding. And feeding, most times you realize that even the tenants and the owner of the house want to make sure they eat well. So most of the time you realize that how much they're making, what they take home at the end of the day is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I didn't really want to. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, a lot of people are not even making as much as you've been to my house, right? So you know how it's structured. Now, this is someone guarding about 6 buildings, and each building pays 10,000 naira a month. Whoa. That's somebody that is making 60,000 naira.
And he lives in the compound.
And he lives in the compound, free electricity, free water, free. Sometimes if you cook, you give him food, free feeding, you know, tips here and there. And this is somebody who washed my car. Yeah. He has a monthly plan with me that when he washes my car, he takes home this at the end of the month just by washing my car, and he washes for about 4 other people in the compound. Now, so I'm just guessing, like, just approximately this guy is taking home about 80,000 naira every month. But if you see him on the street, you won't think this is someone taking home 80K. And there are a lot of graduates out there that are still earning 50,000 naira, 60,000 naira, and all of that. So you can undermine whatever business anyone is doing. Being a gateman, and I like the fact that you brought up the fact that is she insinuating that he's Hausa, because they have this very how do I put it, like this lifestyle that makes you feel like, oh, we don't have nothing. But if you go back home and if you check how they're taking care of their family, and you realize what they have, you realize that these people are probably married to like 3 different women and they're taking good care of them. Yeah, so I'm not going to be surprised. So I was just joking about on those states, wherever. It could even be in Lagos, because we know Davido can be very, very lavish, you know, and generous. So if his gateman is that very, very loyal guy that he can count on, if it comes to him like, oh, guy, they build one house, so I don't start foundations for this thing. Davido is the kind of person that, you don't start the build house. He'll be very impressed that you're even doing that kind of thing.
I think any right thinking and kind person will be impressed.
Yeah, and I'm going to support you, and you give him as much money it takes for him to complete that building. So I don't doubt any of this. I'm not even waiting for proof, because even if it's not true, it's motivation that
I think the only thing I'm waiting for is a little bit more information, because I mean I'm not waiting for I'm not waiting for it, but that's what I would have liked, because all this now is speculation. We're speculating that he's Hausa and he has stuff in the north. We're speculating that
no, we're just talking about people doing that line of job generally. So we are saying like it is possible for a gateman to have this type of thing regardless of working for Davido or Wizkid or anybody. That's what we're saying.
All right. Well, okay. So I was just even thinking of the line of like, like more information from you will have been good as to like who your gate man is, where he's coming from, or
No,
like
that's
what's the
gonna be
size of
security
the what's the size of your the houses, the cars, and all that stuff.
No,
Because
that's going to
from
be security because you're going to get too much.
I don't mean it. I don't like I said. I don't mean it. I don't mean it
man.
literally. Like I don't care about this person. Honestly, I'm just saying for like when I read it to me, I'm like, okay, 3 cars. I mean, 2 houses. No, 2. One was 2. One was 3.
2 houses, 3 whips.
Yeah. So you have 3
But that
whips.
3 whips is the one I
Fam.
don't know. Anyway.
Let's talk about this. Okay, how is it that you have 3 cars and 2 houses and you're still a gay man? That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Anyway, it's time for a break. But when we return, it will be time for some Wizkid conversation. We'll be right back.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am.
If you no talk, dem go beat you.
Na 2,500 I dey pay.
Welcome back. You're going to change nothing by singing Yahoo Yahoo, and this was said by Wizkid. He made the statement at an event he headlined over the weekend. He said, and I quote, "When I started music, I made just 250K, and now we're talking about big numbers here. Just know that you're going to change nothing by singing about Yahoo Yahoo." Also, there's a video about Wizkid, but before we get to that, let's dwell on this one for a bit. People are already trying to say it's about Naira Marley.
Do you know what? When I saw that, I'm like, do people even listen? Do people even pay attention to details? Do people even listen to the words you say and understand it before they jump on social media and talk? Because I watched that full interview when it was unveiled as the ambassador of UBA, one of the biggest bank in Africa.
Yeah.
You understand? So when he was speaking, he said, you're not going to make a difference singing against Yahoo Yahoo.
He said singing about Yahoo.
Singing,
he said about.
Listen,
I watched that video too.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
It says, maybe you need to watch it again. It says singing against.
He didn't say against, Ife.
Okay, let him make his point out.
Singing against, singing about, singing on Yahoo Yahoo. That I would rather lead by example. I came from nothing, and then look at me now. He spoke about how he made 250K. So he's the type of person that would rather work hard and motivate people and see that, look, Yahoo Yahoo is not the way. Now, that's what he was saying. He wasn't talking about Naira Marley in any way. But people just wanted to relate it. I think maybe the sensationalization of repertoire in Nigeria, that's what they...
So are you saying that you don't see any correlation to the fact that somebody is saying, I don't see the need in singing against, about, on Yahoo Yahoo, and then you cannot tell there's any correlation with the fact that it's been trending globally, I mean nationally, in Nigeria, about a certain artist going to prison because it's associated to Yahoo Yahoo.
Okay, what about,
you don't see any correlation at all?
What about Simi? What about the other people that spoke about Yahoo Yahoo? What about people like
exactly? What about them? Would you not associate them to so you connect them?
We don't really have to connect the dots all the time. This is
so you're saying we shouldn't drag Naira Marley into this?
No, Naira Marley is
not. Unfortunately, he will be dragged into this because, like she said, if you look at the incidences that have happened for the past 2-3 months.
It's all been about that. Even Simi's, the people you just mentioned, all those people have been associated to Naira Marley as well. People write on her comments and Marlian, blah blah blah, and they associate that. You cannot not put an artist talking about Yahoo Yahoo and not correlate it to another artist who's being dragged for Yahoo Yahoo. There is a correlation. When this thing became a national attention, see, Yahoo Yahoo has always been in season, but there's been a different kind of attention when Naira Marley came on it because he's an artist with fame and they use him as a scapegoat. So any other artist who's jumping on that and has anything to say about Yahoo Yahoo is on that wagon, whether or not they are directly talking to Naira Marley. They're on the same boat.
Okay, anyway, let's move on to the next scoop we have on Wizkid, which is on a video which surfaced online yesterday in which Wizkid's bodyguard goes violent on a fan who touched Wizkid after performance. I saw the video. It wasn't clear.
Emphasis on the head.
Oh, head. Okay. Touch his head. I know they are Nigerians, so you cannot touch my head anyhow. Yes, you know.
Don't
so
take my glory.
He deserved the punch,
shine.
right? He deserved the punch.
Two safe.
Well, I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, as much as you love those people, you should also learn to give them space. And anyway, you can't expect someone who is, what's the word now, when you're so overwhelmed by an artist or anybody that you love, you can't really expect them to act with their right senses.
That's lack of disrespect. That's not even acting.
Lack of disrespect or lack of respect?
Okay, sorry. Lack of respect. That's lack of respect.
Really?
You can't. Why would you
But
touch anyone?
some people are actually obsessed.
We're not friends.
I understand.
And then you
I understand where you're
are
coming
you joking?
from.
Like, that's so
But no, it's not like he was in front of him and that was the only place he decided to touch. He was reaching.
Yeah.
You know, he was really reaching and that was the only place he could touch. I know
I think the video wasn't clear, but I can just imagine the guy rubbed Wizkid's head like.
No.
You know that guy be like, oh mommy. You know that guy be like, why would I punch you?
So,
it's reflex. It's reflex. You don't.
I think they are doing their job though.
I think if you watch this video, then both, I think the person that's wrong for me is the bodyguard. I think if Wizkid was walking at a mall, it was empty, and like, I come and rub your head, guy beats me and collects the juju in my bag. But like, this
that was the only place he could touch.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I was saying. He reached, like, there were people gathering. This place was chaotic. The people gathering, everybody's touching each other, touching. The only place this guy could put his hand, if you zoom in, because it's next to the car.
I mean, if Davido was, I said Davido, Wizkid. If he was taller, maybe he would be touching like a shoulder or something.
And even
so you're trying to shade this now?
The reaction.
Anyway,
but if you stretch like this, and the guy is like here, you end up in this. I don't think, you see, the video didn't show him aiming for his head. So I think that the reaction. But that reaction was
I think it's reflex. Look,
he's
doing his job.
No, no. See, that thing was reflex. First of all, we see it as a sign of disrespect. We have to bring the African culture in play here. It's like taking off a hat from someone. It's like me going on the road now and then somebody pulls off my hat. That's very disrespectful. Do you understand? I will act based on reflex. No, and that too. My own training will give me that reflex of it will disrespect to me. Do you
your
understand?
training will be to
his
hit.
own training is not like
No,
that.
I don't know. I'm saying I will have based on reflex. Do you understand? I don't know what it can be kick. Do you understand?
You can say, guy, like just.
It can be push. It can be slap.
I think at that point you probably don't know what's actually going on.
Do you understand? So at that moment you just act based on the hits of the passion at that time. So for the bodyguard, I don't want to put no blame on him because especially when you are in Africa, it's different if a white man touches Wizkid's head. You know that, okay, they have a reporter juju, they don't have our type of juju.
Wow. Do you understand? Anyway.
Like, you can't just touch my head and just think, you'll not collect punch.
It's all right.
So I'm not blaming I'm just saying he acted based on reflect on the African culture.
Talking about African culture and moving on, Nigerian government sues South African police over assault on ex-Big Brother housemate Tayo Faniran. This is according to the chairman of the Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabire Erewa. Okay.
This is very impressive.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is very impressive because I think more actions like this should be taken. If we're talking about xenophobia and then we're just sitting there and we just see what's going on with Nigerians and in South Africa, and in fact in the diaspora at large, and then we're sitting there and we're not suing their government, we're not calling out the police, we're not calling out these perpetrators, then I think we'll be failing ourselves as a government because what's the point? Because we have a lot of South Africans in this country and they're moving freely and we haven't had a case of any South African being harassed and all of that. We have Americans, we have people from all over the world in Nigeria.
Them.
Do you understand? Like, we even treat them, we even give them preference than our own people. If a South African should walk into a room, a general room with uneducated, you know, unexposed people, they probably get like a special treatment than
But
when
can I
they-
just jump on this? If
ones.
you imagine now that all the problems that we face in Nigeria, like kidnapping, what else we face, like robbery, all of that stuff. Imagine now that it was only South Africans, as in like 80% of the people who do those things to us are South Africans. Would your conversation be different?
No,
I lived there for about 5 years. We are a serious problem
So
in
you're
South
saying,
Africa. I'm not saying
Tayo's-
xenophobia
okay.
is allowed at all. And I think that those people were acting based on hate and profiling.
And they
just
shouldn't.
assumed, yes, absolutely. But he when he started saying that we pamper them here, it's completely different. People,
No, it's not. Okay,
they
let me tell you why I
pamper
think
other
it's not
people
completely
there
different.
because they pamper other nationalities there. They don't pamper Nigerians because all our fraudsters live there.
Hold
all
on.
the
I get what
human
you're saying.
trafficking
I don't
was
know
built
why,
by
I don't know why-
Nigerians.
hold on, I don't know why you want to illuminate the bad sides of Nigerians. I believe there are Nigerians in South Africa that are not troubled.
Not in the same
Aside that,
percentage
hold
as
on.
people who have a problem. I'm just
Okay.
saying, don't act naive if they're
It's
coming
not
for
about
us. That's what I'm
naive.
saying.
Even here, no matter how you think a foreigner is doing something bad in Nigeria, I think we are very warm people and welcome people in Nigeria.
So we have to
now
say that
look at
when
what's
we are getting
happening with
threatening.
Fulani herdsmen.
And look at that. Are we warm?
No, hold on. The Sultan came out to say these people are not even Nigerians, they're foreigners. And you've not seen our government trying to clamp down or everybody feeling once you're not a Nigerian, you're a Fulani herdsman or you're here to
That is
create.
completely
No, it is
different.
not completely different. So you
as a
cannot make
Fulani-
excuses
as
for the
if-
way
well,
South
I'm not
Africans are
making
treating innocent
excuses.
Nigerians.
I'm saying don't sit
That's
here
what
and
you're
act
doing.
naive like we haven't done serious damage to those people. I'm telling you, Elsie, I lived there for 5. I can't call myself Nigerian in some places. We have shattered that place. If you go to the club,
Babe.
it's full of Yahoo
that's-
people.
that's-
Yahoo boys. Human
if you don't have
trafficking
food, you
started
can't say
when
all that.
go
If
to
you have to
say that.
I'm telling you.
Let me comment on this now. I understand where you're coming from. This is somewhere you've lived. This is somewhere you have seen Nigerians put Nigeria in a very bad light. Now, but we talk about police brutality, but at the same time, we also tell you that not all policemen are bad eggs,
Yes.
right? Yes. So that is out of. If you're saying 80%, that's a statistic you're pulling out of thin hair because it's not confirmed, right?
Should I confirm it for you? I can tell you human trafficking was Nigerians only.
No, I'm not doubting
Okay,
you.
'cause that's
I'm not-
what
I'm
thin
not-
air.
I'm not- It's not even just South Africa.
Okay.
Even in other countries, Nigerians are seen in a very bad light. Most of the crimes that are committed in other countries, they see it as Nigerians doing it. So, but does that give anyone
No, it's not
a
just
right?
Nigerians, because sorry
Yeah.
to cut you continue, but you see sometimes when an issue come up or a crime has been committed and then you see the list of the people and you see probably 1 Nigerian or 2 Nigerians and then 4 other countries,
Yeah.
the focus is always on Nigerians.
Yeah.
Fine, we have a perception that we need to change, but every bad thing happening in South Africa is not done by just Nigerians.
Even the
you
South
need,
Africans.
you need
Okay,
South
I remember-
Africans to be able to penetrate
Of
even
course,
in
guys, you're
South
missing
Africa.
my point. I'm not talking about this big.
I'm not missing your point. I'm just saying that
remember
we
when my
cannot
friend-
use that
I
conversation
remember
to
when-
cover what is going on. We cannot keep making excuses.
Like I said,
remember when my friend-
I said
remember when my
again that
friend
this
went to South Africa, right? And the room right next to his hotel room, they got robbed there. And they robbed Nigerians, and it was South Africans. They said they couldn't sleep, and they had to leave and go get another hotel. Now, they said even in the taxi they were in, a South African man was telling them, a South African taxi driver was telling them that you guys need to remove your chain, and we're about to go to some certain
guys,
places.
you're missing my point.
No,
I'm not
no,
saying
no,
that
no. Wait,
South Africans
I'm
don't
getting-
do crime now.
No, but you're
I'm
saying
just
that we
saying-
do most of the crimes in South
I'm
Africa.
saying-
the South Africans also perpetrate crimes in South Africa.
Of course, South Africa has had that issue. That's what I'm saying. You're not listening. Listen, let me tell you what I'm saying.
Nigeria,
let me tell you what I'm saying.
wait,
If there
hold on,
was
hold on,
second,
hold on.
let me tell you what I'm saying.
Because our time
I'm
is
not
up,
saying South
actually.
Africa is where the South Africa's problem. I'm saying that there's a very big amount of crime that has been opted in South Africa that was birthed by Nigerians.
Okay, so what do you
Human
have to say
trafficking
about
and
this
drugs.
case exactly?
So because of that, already in a place like South Africa that is already prone to violence, that there's already xenophobia, you cannot be all of a sudden surprised that they're now targeting us and profiling why they treat us this way. I'm not saying that why they treat us like that is bad. I mean, it's correct or they're allowed to. I'm just telling you guys, these people there, Nigerians have gone there illegally to spoil our names. And it's not only just protecting this BB guy. It's not just him. It's that we're saying Nigerians there, guys, take cover, stay low so that you can avoid more things like this happening. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so if I end up in South Africa and I'm profiled by a policeman,
But if
and
you're
I'm there
saying
on the
they should
report
stay
and
low,
somebody should
right?
wait, and somebody should treat me badly, I'll just say that, okay.
My brother
Not
That's
now.
bad.
No, I'm saying,
So
of course not. That's
even
what I'm
when you say
saying
they
now.
should stay low, we are telling the police that they need to, even in Nigeria, everywhere in the world, you cannot just see
can't
people
just
and
profile.
profile
Of
them.
course.
How do you
Because
want
I
to
did
test my
something
we are
wrong.
on the same
Elsie comes in
conversation
and then she
about
doing
that.
something wrong. No.
We
Look
are
at my
on the
phone.
same.
You
We're
need
in the
to know
same
what I'm
team with
doing.
that. I'm not saying that people are correct.
But you're saying that we have...
I'm just telling you
So
background
I don't
history.
think we should give them any
Alright.
justification. No background history is necessary in
for a
treating
police to
another
act the
person
way they
wrong.
did. That's the point.
That's the simple thing.
Anyway, that's exactly how we wrap up this heated episode of Tea Time. Thank you for watching, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa to catch up on any episode you may have missed, and maybe just to see this conversation all over again. You can also join the conversation by using the hashtag Tea Time on social media or tweet at us at Plus TV Africa. My thank you always go to my co-anchors Ife Oluwa Oshunkeye and Ife Oluwa Omai, and the entire production team. My name is Elsie Godwin saying thank you for watching and see you later today.